What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Natalya no-sells and has a tantrum at WWE live event, a twist in McMahon's hush money scandal, the backstage reaction to the scandal, WWE fires 2 talent they've recently rehired, it's finally over, Chris Jericho accuses Brock Lesnar of homophobic language, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and a non-wrestling channel, Incredible. And now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at Natalya no-sells and has a tantrum at a WWE live event. Atop in today's news is a report that there may be heat between Natalya and Liv Morgan. Did Natalya no-sell Liv Morgan's finisher, the Oblivion, and then exit out of the ring in a huff? Well, fans are asking this after a video surfaced of Natalya taking the current SmackDown Women's Champion's finisher, getting up quickly, then pointing a finger at Morgan, and she said something before exiting. So what really happened? Well, that's the problem. No one is quite sure what to make of the tantalizing video. One fan commented on Twitter that, from what I gathered, it might be that Natty looks like she's trying to fix her eye, and Liv hit the move as she was trying to fix her eye maybe, and Natty was upset. It's something you'd have to go straight to the source about. Well, Sportskeeda pointed out Natalya praised Liv last year for her work in the ring. Was she just having a bad night? Did Liv do something wrong in the ring? Well, at this point, fans can only watch the video and decide for themselves. Next up, tantalizing twist in McMahon's hush money scandal. There's a potentially tantalizing twist in the Vince McMahon hush money scandal as Dave Meltzer is reporting on what he described as a suspicious exit for a member of the WWE's board of directors. Meltzer noted on the Wrestling Observer that the board member Connor Schell resigned from the board the Thursday before last week's Friday's Wall Street bombshell story hit, which revealed Vince McMahon paid $12 million for several women to sign NDAs regarding alleged misconduct. But when Connor Schell left the company on Thursday, it did seem very suspicious, especially because he knew the story was coming on Friday. And it did. Meltzer observes that Schell's departure was reported as an increased slate of responsibilities resulting from his new expanded role and the newly formed The North Road Company, a global multi-genre content studio. Mr. Schell's decision to resign from the board was not due to any dispute or disagreement with the company, its management, or the board on any matter relating to the company's operations, policies, or practices. Nonetheless, Meltzer hinted that the departure may not have been coincidental. There's no evidence of Connor Schell leaving over that, but someone abruptly leaving the day before the story breaks. Who knows the story's gonna break, and also is one of the people who's aware of what is going on in the investigation more than almost anyone. It's a very curious move without a doubt. Meltzer's musing that the move is curious makes us believe Dave feels that there's more to the story than the WWE is letting on. The WWE sold it as he had other business endeavors and he didn't have the time for WWE, but that's highly unusual to leave without giving a couple months notice for people to replace him and things like that. As we've discussed in our past videos about McMahon's hush money scandal, it's possible a board member leaked information about the board's investigation to the Wall Street Journal, or that a board member used a proxy to do so. This is speculation, but anyone familiar with the corporate world knows that intrigues can become Byzantine at the moment's notice. As the investigation continues, fans and stockholders alike are trying to determine what the future holds not only for Vince McMahon, but for WWE itself. Next up, the backstage reaction to the WWE scandal. As the scandal continues, what are the wrestlers saying about things? As you might expect, wrestlers know better than to go public with their comments, but according to Dave Meltzer, there have been some interesting comments. According to one person, they felt anyone entering the wrestling industry knows what they're getting into. Another unnamed wrestler commented the situation that has them very concerned, while another said that Vince is completely no-selling the situation. Meltzer added that Vinnie Mac was backstage at the 8th July SmackDown and it was business as usual. Next up, WWE fires 2 talent that they recently rehired. It looks like the WWE producers are scrambling to make things work as recent budget cutbacks have reportedly led to a shortage of producers. PW Insider's Mike Johnson is reporting, we're told that the company also recently instituted some budget cuts, so Curtis Axel and Araya Davari, who have been working as producers on a probationary basis, are no longer being brought in, which made everyone's night even harder from a production standpoint. There had been a big rush for more producers to be added right after WrestleMania due to the insane workload and the time the company expects of the producers. That is what has led to the probationary additions. Now with the cutbacks, they have been dropped at least short term, so the producers are back to being what was described to PW Insider tonight as extremely overworked. Johnson added that another absence only complicated things as Jason Jordan, who oversees all the producers, was not at tonight's taping. We're told that he missed the taping as he and his wife are expecting a new baby any time now. With Jordan not there was a lot more work spread out among the other producers, with Adam Pearce taking the point position for the team tonight. Producers serve an important role in wrestling, but sometimes it's confusing as to what they do. Now, if reports of the WWE trimming its staff are accurate, it appears the WWE is trying to do more with less staff. While it makes sense to eliminate redundant positions, it seems as if the WWE is stretching things too thin, which could affect the quality of its product. Next up, it's over. Yeah, it's finally gonna be over. There's interesting news coming in regarding the big last man standing match between undisputed champion Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Meltzer noted on the recent Wrestling Observer Radio that this is the last time the two will clash for the foreseeable future. There are no plans for any other match between them as of right now, but let's be serious. Guys get hurt and it's a match that, bringing Brock back still got a lot of talk and everything like that. The first week there was a lot of talk on bringing Brock back. We'll see how much that means this week to a degree, but it's still SummerSlam. It's going to be the third biggest show of the year. It always is. At the risk of sounding jaded, we think that the chances of this being the last Roman vs Brock match is the same as fans seeing a 6-man tag match with Ezekiel teaming with Elias and Elrod. Roman vs Brock is the WWE's go-to match whenever it can't find a top star to headline a major event, which is most of the time since WWE has failed at building any new opponents for the head of the table. Next up, Chris Jericho accuses Brock Lesnar of homophobic language. Speaking of the beast, Chris Jericho recently recalled a big backstage confrontation he had with Brock Lesnar back in 2016, a confrontation that Chris claims included some homophobic language. You may recall that Lesnar delivered Randy Orton a hard-way shot at SummerSlam, leaving Orton busted open and Jericho furious because he was unaware of the planned finish. Jericho appeared on the True Geordie podcast recently and spoke about the backstage argument, saying, "I was in gorilla position and I was effing angry about it, and Brock Lesnar came through and he saw me angry about it and decided he wanted to challenge me, and we got into a little bit of an issue, but I was like, this guy, I don't give a shit how big he is. I don't care, it's wrong. I will fight to the death, I will stand up to what I believe in till death." Jericho continued his account of the legendary backstage confrontation, recalling Lesnar's use of homophobic slurs. "I remember being literally nose to nose with the guy, and he was laughing, and he was actually saying things that will probably get him cancelled if I said them, like homophobic terms you shouldn't be saying." I don't know why Jericho is bringing up the news since the incident happened 6 years ago. But you guys think Jericho is trying to stir the pot, or is it just a case of him recalling the incident and providing some details that he hadn't shared before? And finally, Kevin Owens' injury update. Where is Kevin Owens and when is he returning to the ring? Well, KO's been out of the ring since he missed a Money in the Bank qualifier contest against his current rival Ezekiel, or Elias, leading to talk that Owens is dealing with a minor injury. Owens popped up during the National Hockey League draft and told Vancouver Canucks coach Bruce Boudreau he'll be returning soon. As wrestling fans know, soon in wrestling talk can be any time between now and the 12th of never. However, Dave Meltzer commented on the situation on his Sunday Night Main Event podcast, noting Owens is expected to miss a few more weeks. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.